Hello everyone, it's Stephen Paul from WinExtra bringing you your daily brief for April the 13th, 2011. And sorry about yesterday, but I had prior obligations that I couldn't get out of, so there was, as you saw, no show. But we're back, and we've got news.
We always have news. There's always something going on in Microsoft world.
Oh yes. Most of it today is going to be about, what, Mix? Windows Phone?
Mix, yeah. Yesterday was the first day of Mix, which is, Microsoft's big sort of conference thing there. Obviously, there's a lot going on today. We're recording at, what is it? It's about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning Central Time. So, we'll have the updates for you tomorrow on everything that's gone on Mix. Although, Stephen does have a list of what we're expecting to hear at Mix today, which he didn't put in the show notes.
I did so.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
All right. Well, we'll get to that a little bit later on. But let's talk about a bit about what actually happened at Mix yesterday while you were off attempting to have a personality implanted.
It didn't work.
I noticed.
They pushed out the first of the previews for Internet Explorer 10, and they also showed off Windows on ARM.
Go on. Why don't you just destroy the highlight of the story by just... you're like the fecker that goes into a pub and gets everybody around to tell him a joke and tells the punchline first and then still insists on telling the rest of the joke. Alright, well, for those of you who didn't hear, the first IE10 developer preview rolled out yesterday. You can drop along and download it from ietestdrive.com. Small little download, 13 megs or thereabouts. I downloaded it this morning, tested it out. Some interesting stuff in there for developers. Lots of new CSS tree stuff, CSS gradients, flexible boxes, that sort of stuff's really, really cool. They also showed off the hardware acceleration again, doing the fishbowl demo. They had like 500 fishies tearing around, and it was awesome. I downloaded it now. I tried it on my triple core, 4 gigs of RAM, fairly decent AMD GPU machine this morning. The 250 fishies clipped along at a wonderful 60 FPS, but it dropped down to about 30 FPS for the 500 fishies, and of course anything above that was deadly slow. They showed off Firefox and Chrome running the same thing as well, and they just couldn't. Well, Chrome couldn't anyway.
Now, the one other point about the Internet Explorer is that they announced that they're also going to be changing the iteration period. Like with Windows 9 it was 8 weeks, and they figured that's not quite long enough in some cases. So they're going to do an 8 to 12 week release cycle.
And?
It's just...
You're doing it again. You're jumping to the point of the point before the story is over. Clown. But getting back to the fishies.
Who cares about fishies?
The very interesting thing about the fishies demo was that when they actually showed it, it was the IE10 preview running on a 1 gigahertz NVIDIA Tegra 2 ARM platform. So the system on a chip.
Yeah. And
that is just unreal. Yes. Of course, the Jobsian sort of what their one more thing was, and that was that it was running on ARM, which also lets us know just a little bit more about how far along IE8 is in development. If you remember
IE10. I mean, no. Windows 8.
Sorry, I'm talking about Windows 8. Yeah. Interesting. When you look back on that video about the IE10 demonstration, do you notice he never called it IE10? He called it i10 the whole time?
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he called it i10. Well, at least I thought he called it i10 the whole time. Other than that, he's just got a problem saying ease,
The other interesting thing, too, was the fact that they actually showed physical hardware. A really nice Sony laptop. Was it the Sony laptop they were using, or was it Samsung?
I didn't get to see the actual hardware. I did get to see the video demonstration, and I did get to see, the screenshots that actually showed that people took and showed that it was actually the Tegra chip.
Because Sinofsky was on...
I missed the live stream, so I had to catch up on it from YouTube.
Sinofsky was on stage with Hammerswitch, whatever his name is, and he showed off, I believe it was a Sony laptop running the ARM system on a chip, running IE10, and the sucker was was it 1.6 inches thick? Or around, like it was really, really thin?
1.6 inches, Hudson. So it was like that thick?
No. Okay, so it was I don't know. It was about that thick. It was Mac Air thin. Let me put it that way.
You are, sir.
Shut up.
Anyway, of course, that raises interesting questions then about the readiness of IE8, which kind of...
Windows 8, you mean?
Shut up. Yes, Windows 8, which leads us to sort of speculation about the fact that we may see first IE8 beta release, or at least the first proper IE8 beta.
Windows 8 release.
Demos, Windows 8, shut up. At PDC in September, so 13th, 16th September.
Yep.
A little soon, maybe?
No, I don't think so.
Well, you were kind of saying earlier that they had the 12 to 14 week, or 10 to 12 week iterations on IE10.
Yes.
Which would kind of lend credence to a more July sort of time frame for IE8 if they were going to ramp up the... for Windows bloody 8 if they were going to wrap it up around that time. But, so yeah, September for that.
Yeah.
That's a fairly safe bet, I think. On the other hand, you could drop along to your... Obviously, we can't give you a direct link to this, but you could always... we never recommend getting...
No, we don't. No.
But if you were of the persuasion that wanted to see what was going on with IE8, rumor has it that there is... is it the 7850 or the 8750?
Milestone 1.
Build, is currly available from torrent sources online. Somebody let it slip.
Yeah, we don't know anything about that sort of stuff. We don't.
You wouldn't. You know nothing about torrents. You don't even have a torrent client installed.
I do.
You're still using it, man.
I have a torrent client. You torrent. So to you too, buddy.
What do you use it for? Because you don't.
In emergencies, just in case I need it. That's what it's.
Oh, okay.
I'm in preparation for future needs. For those of you running Windows Phone 7 on AT&T, you're still waiting because AT&T is still testing. What?
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? We saw the updates that were coming out about, when is the Focus coming? When is the LG coming? When are they getting their updates? They all look like they're about to get them beginning of April. Well, early now. Now, considering it is April. But when it comes to AT&T, they're still dragging their heels. They're dragging their feet. People are giving Microsoft slack because AT&T still haven't done the January, February updates, the March updates.
Here's a hint, folks.
How much testing is involved?
Here's a hint, folks. At this point, this is not Microsoft's fault. Period. All right?
No, it's AT&T, and there's just no two ways about it.
Yep.
If you want to hear us bitch about it, go back to older shows. Where we've talked about how these things have been ready since December, and the only hold-up is the carriers, and in this case it's AT&T, and I have absolutely no compunction in saying that the only reason it's happening is because AT&T want to piss people off enough to maybe persuade a large portion of them to buy another phone.
Yeah.
Because that is AT&T and all the other carriers' business model. Do whatever they can to get you to buy a new phone as quickly as possible. They don't want you receiving updates.
No.
Why not?
Now, if you want to keep up-to-date with your up-to-date information, the Windows Phone team has put together a new blog called Update Central.
It's not exactly a blog, but it is. It's kind of like it's a help site, a resource site, where they've got information on bugs that you're going to get. You can search it kind of a bit like you can the Microsoft knowledge base. And you know, they deal with things like how do you prepare for updates, how do you deal with bugs. So if there's something going on with your phone that you don't know about, you get a silly error message or whatnot, drop it all there, and it'll keep you up to date, and you know, you can see what everybody else is getting errors with while you're waiting for your AT&T update.
Now, as we said at the top of the show, Mix is running from yesterday till today. Today we've got Bellafiore and Guthrie doing a joint keynote speech. But Paul Thurrott has up a list of what we're possibly going to expect to hear today, of which is general info, Mango.
Oh, dude, seriously? We're not talking about Mango, okay? People haven't even gotten Nodo yet. Let's deal with Mango when everybody has Nodo.
New tools. In May, Microsoft will release a new set of developer tools that will help developers create Windows Phone apps, blah, blah, blah.
They'll help developers create Windows Phone apps that will run awesomely on Mango.
Yes.
Or will ever have.
Application multitasking for background processing. Deeper phone integration.
Yeah, that sounds kind of kinky, but no, this is about more sort of live tile capabilities. Yeah. So I wonder what that's going to actually be. I wonder if that means that, like, you know, your live tiles will do a lot more than, like, just kind of like, you know, tell you have 5 messages from Facebook. Maybe they'll show you what those messages are, or display pictures, or I don't know. But.
Camera and motion sensor access. That's going to be interesting once the developers get a hold of it. And they also announced Internet Explorer 9, or will announce Internet Explorer 9 with HTML5 and standard support. They're also...
didn't we just get an IE10 preview yesterday? Why is IE9 being talked about a Mix today?
Because it's for the phone.
I also heard as well that there's going to be some talk of, you know, some Kinect stuff as well at Mix today, but we'll bring you up to date on all of that once it's actually gone through today's actual news cycle.
What could be interesting is that some of the demos that are going to be shown today include Skype, Spotify, Layer, Qantas, Amazon Shopping, and Kick Messenger.
And you know what? It really doesn't matter unless you've got those updates. So let's focus on those first. All right, on to the feedback.
Yes.
Guys, if you want to leave us feedback, much like these guys do, basically anywhere you can watch this show, there should be a comment form. Whether it's on dailybrief.blip.tv or youtube.com/WinExtra, or the site itself, WinExtra.com. Leave us comments, feedback, or, you know, text us or email us at podcast@winextra.com. Text us or leave us a voicemail at 251-281-8730. From the YouTube channel on the last show, though, at BigDude148039 left a message basically saying, what was it? I got the beta, and I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be showing it here according to the contract you had to agree to when you applied for the beta. As I said on previous shows, we're not showing anything off that isn't already common and public knowledge. I showed what arrived in the post, but I didn't actually show anything to do with the beta running or give information away about the beta that might be technical details or any sort of information like that as to how it actually works. The knowledge as to what was in my package was all over Slashdot and everywhere else.
And gadgets.
It's the same when we first started. Before I even signed up for this beta, we were actually talking about the beta and what it was going to include and what it deals with on this show, like a week before I even signed up for the beta. So it's common knowledge. All we did was confirm what we actually knew and has already been reported. So yeah, we're quite careful to stay within the lines of what we agreed to. But thanks for bringing it to us anyway.
From Big Dude 1483.
That's the same guy. We're going over the same tips here.
Sorry.
That's really... We got a lot of feedback on the YouTube channel, but, you know, nothing sort of... No news in there, no tips.
No. Well,
a lot of people telling us how great we are.
yes, which we
And
really
we have
appreciate.
occasional silence, which
Yes.
happened quite a few times today. But we work with what we got.
Yeah.
Getting paid for this, so
Yeah.
you know what. But if you actually want to help make the show better, drop along to WinExtra.com, where we've got a donation drive going on, where if you donate $1, 50 cents goes towards making the site better and providing for server resources. The other 50 cents goes into a pool. And once that pool reaches a certain number, I think it's $250, you can be one of 2 people who will be drawn to win $60 worth of Steam games each that you can spend any which way you want. So drop along there, and maybe that little bit of money will help us get rid of the pauses, because we might have better equipment.
Yes. So on that note, folks, that's Paul. I'm Steve. This has been WinExtra's Daily Brief for April the 13th, 2011. And we'll be back tomorrow with more news from Mix as it comes down the pipe.
Yeah, exactly. So see you tomorrow, folks.
See you later, everybody.